Getting to the money, I be getting to the back. People think I'm funny cause I always make them laugh. I ain't even being funny, I be really spitting facts. I'm about balance and I got talents. Every challenge I overcome. Low key is savage, never be average. Give me a task and I'll get it done. Minding my business whenever I come in. I'm hitting in business while I'm having fun. I ain't worried about winning, boy, that would be dumb cause there's no competition. I already won, huh? Yeah.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Astrologiks, and I am your astrology cook. Why does this look so dark? Am I doing something? Oh, better. That's a better. Hey. So, I am the owner of Astrologiks, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'm going to be discussing March horoscopes. I'm recording this on Thursday, but I don't think I'm going to post it until Sunday. So it'll already be March. And I do apologize. There's a lot going on, guys. Okay? Both my ruling planets are going to be retrograde, and I'm wrapping up my the Libra eclipse. It's not mine, but I am a Libra rising. And the eclipse was in Aries and Libra, now in Pisces and Virgo. And let me just tell y'all something. It's disrespectful. Okay? That's all I gotta say. But bear with me. I'm gonna be really, really, really slow with these retrogrades. But I'm doing my best. So I've already done the Venus retrograde video in Aries. I'll do Pisces towards the end of the month. I'll do Mercury. I believe Mercury's in Pisces. And I'll do the Aries one when we get closer to that time. And yeah, I'm working on the Virgo eclipse video now. So I think for the most part, I'm caught up. So it's not that bad, but yeah. So let's just jump right in, family. Starting with Aries. Aries, on March 1st, Venus will go retrograde in your first house. And on March 14th, Mercury will go retrograde in your fourth house. And then on March 29th, you'll have the Aries eclipse. And that's a lot. That's a lot. So you're reevaluating your creative projects, your relationships, your style, your values are changing. I wouldn't get any cosmic surgery if you could avoid it at this time. Unless you have Venus in retrograde, that's different. You actually have support to get stuff done during retrogrades. I mean, let's just be all the way real. Life is happening regardless, whether we can do it or not. But just know that if you're getting something done that goes against the Venus retrograde, you're gonna experience difficulties. The typical Mercury and retrograde stuff, you might even end up rescheduling until the retrogrades are over. That wouldn't be a mistake. You could just have a lot of stuff coming up with scheduling meetings, phone calls, having conversations, miscommunication. and just simply forgetting stuff, to be honest. Aries is usually a pretty clear sign, it's very direct and blunt, but with it being in retrograde, it's not happy in Venus. It can be a little, not at the top of its game. So there's that. Um, and this is happening in your fourth house. Oh my God. Yeah, so if you got any renovations going on, any housework going on, anything that needs to be fixed around appliances and repairs, ugh, yeah, you can expect those things to be either done, but not done right. Or again, you schedule something and then the miscommunications all wonky. You heard one date, they said another date, they come the date that they said, but you heard something else, so you're not home. And yeah, be careful for being charged late fees. I would just triple check and double check if you heard the right dates. Write stuff down, repeat things more than once. Um, I mean, there's going to be some complications and miscommunication with family. I can see this being as arguments, but really it's more I really am getting more like a conversation in passing, but maybe you were doing something at the time that you were having a conversation and you wasn't really listening, and somebody takes that personal or offensive. This could be with a boss, or a parent. Anytime we're talking about Mercury now, that Mercury is in the South Node, being the ruler of Virgo, this is work related, um, you know, and travel related. Make sure you have a house sitter if you're planning on doing any traveling for more than a few days. Mercury typically is short-term travel, so like a weekend is fine, but if you plan on being gone for like a week, more than 2 days to a week, get a house sitter, um, or invest in some cameras. Um, you could be moving and it's just going to be an absolute mess. If you've already moved, you're redecorating, but by the time this retrograde is over, you're going to change your mind. You don't want it. It's not what you really want. You're going to find something that's more attuned to your vibration. So unless you've already had some of these things planned in the past, like you've been planning for this for a while, then they're fine. This retrograde supports anything from the past. Um, and so if you've been 3 months, 4 months just mulling over things and really figuring out what you want and you finally make a decision, this is going to go well. If you're getting a used car, this is going to go well, especially if you're buying a car at this time. But um, that puts a little bit of a different spin on things. Um, yeah. March 13th is the full moon in the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, and this is happening in your sixth house. So again, work is going to come up, and you might be letting go of a job, leaving a job simply because there's a lack of structure and direction. Um, or you're starting your own business because you feel like you're a better boss or you could do better. And this can be very successful so long as you take this time to do planning. Again, if this is something you've already been planning and you're actually starting this now, this is going to be phenomenal. You're going to hit the nail on the head. You can't go wrong planning something for months and then have it come to fruition in Virgo. But it is a full moon, lunar eclipses, and full moons typically represent that you're actually letting something go. It might be best to wait till the 29th to start, or anytime after the 29th to start because it's a new moon. It's just more upbeat, upbeat vibration to start on. Um, but either way, to be honest with you, I can't imagine this going not in your favor. Um, but just know if you're starting it on in the energy of a full moon, it's more like you're more likely to have things come up over and over again until you get it right, which is okay too, but it could be a little annoying. Um, you might be changing your schedule, changing your health habits. You might have a lot of different appointments. You could have, if you have animals, they could be sick and need to go to the doctors. Um, yeah, a lot of scheduling, rescheduling, or schedule changes. If this isn't a car or getting some maintenance done to a car. Again, if it is a car, get a used car. I know that might sound stupid, but used cars would be more supported around a retrograde. If you're getting something new, I can almost guarantee you're going to run into some kind of problems. And it might not necessarily be with the car, but the process in which to get the car. Um, yeah, and then March 29th, like I mentioned, is the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. And this is your new beginning. This is, this is the new year. This is when everything starts. So everything that I've mentioned in here could seem cloudy, foggy, again, off and on, up and down, round and round. Your head is freaking spinning. Um, but things will become a lot more clearer during this new moon. All right, Aries, Taurus. So March 1st is the um, Venus in Aries retrograde. Venus is your ruling planet, so this is big for you. And then on March 14th, Mercury in Aries goes retrograde. And then on March 29th, you have the Aries solar eclipse. And this is all happening in your 12th house. I see this as being super laid back for you. You might actually experience more people in your life going through things than you are. You might kind of be trying to like distance yourself, go ghost. Like, I don't want to be seen. I don't know nobody, can't see nobody, don't want to talk to nobody. And it might not even be about anybody, just literally you're sleepy, you're tired, you need to relax, you want to relax. You could be pregnant, doesn't have to be, but there could be a pregnancy here that's kind of slowing you down, making you be more cautious, more laid back, more rest in a resting state. Um, you might be taking more baths, having more dreams, finding like a solid nighttime routine, um, and a morning routine because 12th house is the nighttime and Aries is the morning. This is morning sickness for sure. You could be having like cravings and stuff like that. Um, yeah. There could also be some secrets that are revealed that make you want to go inward and do some reflecting. Or you're making the decision if you want to leave a relationship, you know, or you just might be doing some soul searching with a partner and you guys are practicing or building on how to be more intimate and vulnerable with each other. This would be great energy for that, by the way. Um, This could be couples counseling or just counseling in general, or any kind of like spiritual retreat or studying, deep, deep, deep studying of some kind of spiritual practice to find peace or to commune with your guides or getting to know your higher self and understanding what that is and what it looks like for you. So if you're having dreams, if you're seeing signs, symbols, and synchronicities, writing these things down and continuously trying to put the pieces together to see what it is they're showing you. Try not to get frustrated with yourself if you can't figure it out. Pisces is a retrograde within itself, and that's the 12th house. So, be patient with what the messages are that are coming to you. Know you might not know until the next 6 months. But write everything down, be intentional with what it is that's coming to you in whatever way that is for you. If you have a ritual, stay on task with that ritual. It'll help you stay grounded and open to it'll have you'll understand whatever it is you're trying to understand when you're meant to. Um you might be writing a book or you're focused on healing. And then on March 13th, we have the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. Um, and that's happening in your fifth house. And so lunar eclipses, they are like full moons on, steroids. And so it's Virgo, and this is a cleansing, a releasing, a letting go, detox, whether that's a literal detox or you're literally like clearing out things. Now, you could be moving and you're clearing out stuff in your house to do like a garage sale. It doesn't have to be, but it could be something like that. And or you're giving stuff away that you don't need anymore. I look at this, or the fifth house can be like children's clothes. Like I did mention pregnancy, right? Or you could just be passing them down, right? I mean, it depends on how many children you have, if you have children, but it's things like that, essentially. It's like the rotation of the new food from the old food, um, the spring clothes to the summer clothes, or from winter, right? That's what I'm just giving you examples though. There's a lot of reorganizing. Virgo is my feng shui, right? And so there's a clearing and cleansing of your environment, your personal objects or things that you own, and or a job. It could be a job. So this could be a purging of coworkers, because you're at a new job, you're meeting new people, new environment, new work routine. Or it could just be a new department in your job, right? It's going to be different for everybody, or that you're not working at all, and so you're a lot more laxed, and have free time to do some creative projects or work on creative projects. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. And so there could also be issues with children, with relationships, rethinking a creative project. You're given to things that don't align with you anymore, essentially. So you're releasing something because you've outgrown it, you've grown up. Doesn't always have to be bad. It could just be like a passage, a rites of passage. You're reaching a higher spiritual level. You're reaching a higher level in your relationship. Your child is going from teenager to young adult. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so there's some kind of growth here. Or again, it really is a breakup, or you're letting people, places, and things go that don't uh you could have outgrown each other. Those things happen. I still don't see this as super like negative, although, it's obviously those things can always happen, but for some reason it's just in my heart. Um, I'm not feeling the negative here because there's way too many retrogrades going on. We're still in shadow from Mars being in between Leo and Cancer. I don't know where Mars is now, but I know it's direct now. And it just recently went direct like a week ago, and I'm just having a really hard time, like believing that people are going to have the energy to be as wild and kooky and crazy as Aries can be, even with an eclipse, you know? Um, I just am. Will some of those things happen? Sure. I don't see it being as bad as it really could be. Uh, and it's really given us an opportunity to address anything that has been wild and crazy in our lives and be like, let's make up, let's talk it through, Mercury and Aries. Like, you know, how do we want to move forward? And again, maybe it's that you're saying, yeah, I don't want to move forward, and that's okay too. I still don't see this being like super loud, aggressive as I normally would with Aries energy. I just don't. I just don't. But you guys gotta let me know, Taurus. You might decide to do some volunteering or again go on a spiritual retreat that leads to some kind of spiritual awakening. Okay. I love you guys. Gemini. So March 1st, Venus in Aries goes retrograde. March 14th, Mercury in Aries goes retrograde. And then March 29th is the Aries eclipse. And this is all happening in your 11th house. Is that right? Hold on. Because that doesn't actually sound right. Oh, yeah, I did say the 12th for Taurus. Never mind. It's right. Sorry. It's the 11th. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of reevaluation of your friendships and how you socialize. Um, what your goals are when it comes to your social life and friends and connections. Um, what does all that look like for you? I feel like this can be a major game change in your career life, where whatever it is you do for work, you're being seen more and you're getting recognition for whatever that is that you do. And you're opening yourself up to a new social field. It could even be like people of higher stature with the 11th house, like really important people that you're meeting. That's going to help you expand and grow, or at the very least, be extremely resourceful to your growth if you have a career and or your own business. Um, I think it's going to be wish fulfillment. I think you're going to meet people who are more on the same level as you. And I think it's going to be something that's going to hit you out of like you're not going to see this coming. You're just being your regular Gemini self, where you're just like going through life, like, you know, bobbing and weaving. And these things are just going to start to flourish over time. Now, on the downside to that, you might have some friends that you've outgrown. They're not on the same page as you no more. These could be some pretty, or could have been some pretty nasty breakups, unfortunately, or very loud or even public, social media wise, anyway. Um, Or it could have been a crowd that was loud in public, but in a very, I don't want to use the word degrading because I think that's insensitive, but ghetto. I'm just gonna keep it 100. You know, could have been a little sharp, a little direct and straight to the point, like da 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 da, and again, I don't feel this energy is being that serious right now. People are going to be a lot more relaxed, a lot more low key just because of the retrogrades. Even with the eclipse, I feel things are just like the energy is way down. It's like, I'm sorry, what did you say? Was you yelling at me? Are you mad at me? This is the argument, you know? Or better yet, you could be using this energy with that monotone to address the behaviors, arguments, disagreements that might have come up with friends, groups, and people that you belong to in the past. And it's an opportunity to make up. And everybody's not going to make the cut, right? But that's also a part of this process is to eliminate who's not vibrating on your frequency. And I still see them as being amicable breakups because at this point, I can only imagine that something's already happened, right? With Mars and Leo, Mars going through Leo and Cancer. There was already a big brawl, a big like, that's it, I'm done. It was below the belt. You crossed the line, you burnt your bridge, I'm done, right? And so kind of sort of one foot's already out the door type of situations where now you're like more mellow, people starting to really take time to themselves and really sit back and think like shit, was it really worth it? Was I really wrong? And again, you might see a lot of apologies or opportunities for conversations to mend fences and make up. You could fall in love with a friend, doesn't have to be, or friends can be trying to hook you up with someone, like blind dates type stuff, and that can be fun. Um, I feel like I can say so much more about that, but yeah. I think right now you're reevaluating what you want your friends group to look like, who's going to benefit you the most, and where can you find those people at? And the answer is to do what you love. Go to places where you genuinely want to be, you go to socialize and build on that. Be social when you're in those places and spaces. Okay, and then March 13th is a Virgo full moon and lunar eclipse in your fourth house. And so you might be moving, buying a home, selling a home, or someone's moving in or someone's moving out. If you're over giving in any kind of way in your life, you're letting go of that, which could cause some problems. I'm just going to be honest with you. Or better yet, it already happened. I'm 90% positive if an issue in your fourth house hasn't happened, I am positive it's already come up and you've addressed it probably several times, especially if this is your home environment and we're talking about your children. Or it could be family issues, same things with your siblings, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins. Um, Nonetheless, now is going to be a time where people are going to be trying to like mend fences. And it might be a lot of repetition with children. Like, remember we talked about clean up after yourself, or you're putting some kind of system in place that says, if you don't remember, just know that there's going to be a consequence. And I'm not going to remind you. You're just going to get the consequence. It's going to be up to you to remember. I mean, this is going to be different for everybody, but it could be stuff like that. Yeah. Because then on March 29th, like I mentioned, the solar eclipse in your 11th house, your social life and goals are going to be changing significantly. And it's going to make room for new friends and new social connections that are going to be off the fucking chain. Like, I think it's going to be amazing. All right, Cancer. So on March 1st, Venus in Aries goes retrograde. On March 14th, Mercury in Aries goes retrograde. And then on March 29th is the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. So that's a lot. You might be reevaluating your career and education. Um, if you're a boss, if your boss doesn't value what you bring to the table, you're going to have to address it, or it's going to get really, really tight to the point where you're just going to either explode and lose your job and get fired, um, or there's going to be some kind of argument. And you don't want to do that. So I take this lull energy because we're in this heavy retrograde energy to have a deeper discussion on how things can change, what needs to change, if it's even possible. And once you get the information from having these discussions, you'll be either leaving or looking for a new job and leaving, um, or starting your own business, doing something more entrepreneurial. Um, yeah, basically you're assessing whether or not your values align with where you work at. That's going to be huge, huge. Um, this could actually lead back to going to an old job or going to school or both. Um, and then on March 13th is the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse in your third house. And so full moons are about letting go. And this could be with siblings or responsibilities around your siblings, or you're going to stop being so critical of your siblings and others and finding the words to say to accomplish goals with love, really assessing whether or not your criticism is necessary. Um, and I think this could be a little hard. I'm not going to lie. I don't think this is going to be easy with Virgo because Virgo is a sign of criticism. Being in the third house already, I don't think you can help it, but maybe perhaps studying words, reading a dictionary, an encyclopedia, um, maybe perhaps talking to somebody or getting like a coach or some kind of guidance on how to deal with things, or reading about how to deal with things, how to solve problems without an attitude. They have stuff like that out there. Um, you could be working on license ID or car or all three, to get around, to go on little short vacations, or this could be what's hindering you from getting a better job. So this could be a goal of yours that you're working on. Um, yeah, okay. And then March 29th, like I mentioned, is a new moon solar eclipse in Aries in your 10th house. And again, I think that you're gonna find yourself with a new job, new attitude, new goals. Hold on, you guys. Okay, sorry about that. I had to check my messages and turn off my alarm. So yeah, new goals, new attitude, um, new job, new business, perhaps. That might not be the story for everybody, but some kind of creative project is possible, where you have a team and people to not employ but coordinate in some way, shape, or form. And it's going to be more aligned with what it is you're trying to accomplish or more aligned with your values. All right, Cancer, Leo. So March 1st is Venus in Aries going retrograde. March 14th, Mercury in Aries goes retrograde. And then March 29th is the Aries new moon eclipse. And so you're being called to redefine your values or define your values by assessing what you spend money on. You can literally be doing like inventory on the things that you buy or a budget on the things that you buy as a way to further understand what it is you value and why. I think I talked about this in one of my videos, but I can't really remember. Um, but let's say, for example, you like nice cars. Well, why do you like nice cars? Well, because it gets you to the places that makes your heart skip a beat, or it allows you to get to places that makes your heart skip a beat. Maybe you like reading, um, you know, and why, just like understanding why you buy the things that you buy can help you understand what it is you value and why. There could be a nice little, I'm pretty sure there are books on there out there about how to assess your values. But I would look into that to help you really, really, really understand what are your values. Um, what's your bottom line? And why? This is going to be very, very important for you. If you have a partner, have them do the same thing. And then you guys can kind of assess where you're alike and where you're not in order to build a stronger relationship. You might think about going to school, or going back to school. What house is this in again? Yeah, as a way to get more money. Um, it could be for work or for your social life. Maybe you're downsizing your social life for the purpose of saving more money, or you're just being more frugal with your time in your social life and how much you socialize. Um, yeah. Yeah, I think you could be training so that you can get a raise, or you're working on being more like on time or focused, or like a better employee to get you know how like they'll give you what do you call those things where you get like I don't know every 6 months or every year you get like they write how well you've done. I don't know why I can't remember the name of what that is. And these are how you get, they base these off of how much of a raise you get, if you even get one, right? And so you could be working on doing those goals and those little meetings that you have about your progress so that you can get more money. Um, And then you have March 13th is the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse in your second house. Yeah, period. Like everything that I said. If you're not doing this about your values, you're writing down your budget. Yeah, you're getting ready to start, crunching down, getting better with how you spend your money so that you can make more money or have more options to have fun, you know? Virgo. So March 1st is the Venus in Aries goes retrograde. March 14th, Mercury in Aries goes retrograde. And then on March 29th is the new moon eclipse in Aries. And this is happening in your eighth house. And so this can be about how much you're willing to reveal. How vulnerable are you willing to be with another person? If you're single, you're deciding if you're ready to open up to someone, how to overcome your fears and insecurities when it comes to love and relationships. If you're in a relationship, you're working on being more vulnerable with your partner. You could even be questioning whether or not you're on the same page. There can be a separation due to whatever comes of this. But on the flip side of this, I also think you could be paying off some debt, um, and investing more. Or again, you're doing your own healing, whether you're in a relationship or not. You might decide that you just need somebody to talk to, and you might get a counselor or a mentor or somebody to talk to. And that might be another partner. I just have to reiterate that. Um, I don't wish that on anybody, but it could be a very, very, very big possibility that if you're not getting what you're looking for, if you're not giving what you're looking for, be mindful that there could be some emotional cheating or actual cheating or emotional cheating that turned into actual cheating. Um, And then March 13th is the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse in your first house. And you're determining if you can survive a relationship or if it's over. This can be you're healed and ready to build a strong relationship, or um, again, you're in a relationship and you're making that decision whether it's worth working on or not, or this is going to be a breakup. This is going to be an opportunity to get money. Um, to pay off debt, or a partner's going to be getting some money that could potentially help you out in some way, shape, or form. Either way, come March 29th for that Aries new moon eclipse, you're going to make a decision to heal and move on. Okay, Libra, March 1st, Venus in Aries goes retrograde, and Venus is your ruling planet, so this is a pretty big deal. And March 14th, Mercury in Aries goes retrograde. And then March 29th is the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. And this is all happening in your seventh house. And so you're reevaluating your relationships, or you're being tested when it comes to relationships. This sounds to me like a bunch of second chances. You're going to get a lot of people coming back from your past. You might be reaching out to people from your past. And this does not just have to be romantic, by the way, family. This can be any relationship, siblings, sisters, mother, co-workers, whoever you consider your socialites, your friends, wherever it is you go to socialize, a marriage partner, or a romantic partner, or your children. Okay. This could really be any relationship. This is not just about love. Um, yeah. And so you're going to get a lot of people coming back, or you're coming back to people as a way to ask for forgiveness, close cycles and chapters, get some closure, um, and make up or make that final decision to close something off or end something completely. So this is a lot of rethinking about relationships and relationship patterns, miscommunication in relationships. If you're in a relationship and things haven't been the best, you will take this time to work through your differences. If you're single, you can attract your soulmate. And the beautiful thing about starting a relationship during a retrograde is that whether it lasts or not, um, you get the opportunity to build and create a pattern in which you would like relationships to start, meaning taking your time, talking things through, asking the right questions, just being in the moment and enjoying a person's energy. Um, what figuring out what your dislikes and likes are. Where do you come together? This can be extremely magnetic because it is an eclipse energy. But it's also very karmic. Now, karmic is not always bad. It can be good. Nonetheless, it's still karmic. And so, meaning it's meant for you, however this happens, it's meant for it to happen. So, at the very least, you want to detach yourself from the outcome and whatever expectations you have or want for that outcome, as opposed to just, again, being in the moment, making sure you're worrying about what you're doing. Are you acting in a way that you would expect somebody else to act towards you? That's all you can do is show up how you would want others to show up for you and let time play itself out and see where things go. But this could be a relationship that knocks your socks off, um, or breaks your heart. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And it could be the same exact situation for a business partnership. So be careful for deceptive clients and deceptive business partners. Make sure you do your due diligence. Ow. It's Mercury retrograde. Okay. Um, yeah. And so then on March 13th, there's a Virgo full moon or eclipse in your 12th house. This will force you to stay in touch with yourself, your peace, and what you truly want. So you have some support there, going back to what I was saying about making sure that you know what you want and focus on what you want. And don't worry about acting in a way that you think people want you to act. That's that's the real test here. Because you can't control whether or not a relationship is going to happen. All you can do is be open to a relationship happening and make sure you're focused on working on what you can provide and what you can do and how you can do that and expressing that, you know. Um, so that's pretty awesome. And then again, like I said, on March 29th is the Aries new moon eclipse. This can definitely be the ending of a relationship because secrets in a relationship, or you're releasing an unhealthy business partnership, or again, a new relationship comes in that is like so on your level, like it's going to feel like I've been waiting for this, or you're learning you're learning new relationship patterns and behaviors, how to go about love and relationships, which I think is going to be really fun, to be honest with you. Um, Scorpio, March 1st, Venus goes retrograde in Aries. March 14th, Mercury goes retrograde in Aries. And then March 29th is the Aries new moon eclipse. And so this is happening in your sixth house. And so if you employ people, you might have to give a review to someone that's not holding up their end of the responsibilities. And it could be a little tension here, or uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really see tension with this eclipse as much as Aries is known for its tension. Um, I'm just not seeing it because of the retrogrades. Everybody's energy is gonna be like, you know, and so I'm just not seeing it. But obviously there could be, right? So just be mindful about that. But at the very least, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Um, you'll be addressing whatever issues these are, or whether you want to actually keep somebody or not. Now, if you're the employee, you're getting reviewed by a boss and you might be losing your job because they see you as not holding up your end of the responsibilities. Or you could just be having issues with coworkers that you'll be addressing. No, you will have to address, or else it could get pretty out of control and uncomfortable to the point where you quit anyway or get fired, right? This could also be issues with the child. Um, let me just check something. Yeah. Issues with a child or pregnancy, or you're revamping or rethinking how a creative project. Um, if you have any travel plans, they might get delayed. Yeah, there might be a delay in travel. Or you just might feel really frustrated with a creative project. Like you don't really, like you might have an idea, but for some reason it's just not holding. You might get glimpses and pieces of how you want to put things together, but the together part is not holding, or it's consistently changing, or you're coming up with some new idea and you're like, hell, I want to do it all. But then there's going to come a time where you're going to have to break it down and be more realistic about it. You could be dating multiple people if you're single. Again, I'm really getting this feeling of like, just like in the wind, dude. You know, if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If someone asks, I go. If they don't, I don't. I really, really am getting that energy from these retrogrades. It's like, sure, what the fuck? Why not? But if nobody asks you, I don't think you're really gonna give a shit either. Either way, it's like, um, it is what it is. But not like in a negative way. It's just like literally going with the flow. If something pops up, I'm there. If you got plans, I'm there. But if you don't, you're also okay too. That's just how I feel. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to let me know how this goes. And then on March 13th is the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse in your 11th house. And so a friend might be going through something and you're being supportive to them. You might be letting go of an organization, group, or friendship. Um, or you're starting one, or you're thinking about starting one. Yeah, that's going back to that idea. Like, there are so many things that I want to do that I can do, but it's the structure or the idea that's not holding. Or you have so many ideas and things, it's like where to start or stop. And I think right now you should just have fun and let your imagination roam and be free to have all the ideas and plan it all out, however it looks to you. Um, and then once these retrogrades kind of subside, the realism will kick in. And then you can start really planning around, okay, what can I realistically do practically that's not overwhelming with details and lack of organization and stuff like that. So really getting clear on how something looks, the end product to something. And then, like I said, on March 29th is the Aries new moon solar eclipse in your sixth house. And so you might have actually um fired somebody, but you're hiring a new person, or you're looking for a new job, or you're addressing some health issues or addictions, or you're trying to feel inspired about the work that you do again. Yeah, that's a better way to say that. You might not feel connected, but just, don't make any final decisions just quite yet. Give it some time, but you might be giving up on something that you genuinely and honestly used to love doing. Sagittarius, March 1st, Venus in Aries goes retrograde. March 14th, Mercury in Aries goes retrograde. And then on March 29th is a new moon solar eclipse in Aries. And this is all happening in your fifth house. Um, hmm. I'm thinking you might have a few different exes coming back too. Or you're just dating a lot of people for fun, but no, there's no real. Are you trying to fill a void? You might have just went through a breakup. That's what I'm getting. Yeah. This might be very not, you might not be conscious of this, but you might be dating all willy-nilly, just like having fun, no rhyme or reason, no expectations, just like you're trying to forget something. Or an ex could come back, or you might just be thinking about an ex. Hmm. If you're single, you might meet someone new, but take things really, really slow. Yeah, I got the feeling that you're a little all over the place because you're trying to fill a void, but I don't think this is something your conscience of. You might be hurt, you might have had a recent heartbreak, and you just want to forget. I would really take this time to release that, if you can, because it's blocking you from healing. And it can end up being some reckless stuff happening in the fifth house. This is like the worst place to do this because you can end up having a baby and you don't even know the person, or you don't know who the hell the person is. You know what I'm saying? Um, so just try to really, 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 really find I go for a walk, put a playlist together, set nap times, and ask for more hours at work. I don't even recommend that. But try to focus on something other than using sex. Or, you know how they say to get over another person, get on top of them? I think it goes something like that. You know what I'm talking about? I think that's what you're doing. And I think that's dangerous, especially with an eclipse. That's a child that is going to come in and fucking turn your life upside down. Oh, yeah, that can come with a lot of regrets and it can be way worse. I mean, outside of that, if your ex does come back, remember to that's another thing you can use this time for instead is what you would want that to look like. What expectations do you have? What do you need from this person? Why did you break up in the first place? Is it even fixable? And if you do, how are you going to do things differently if they do come back and it's, to repair things? Um, you might be looking for a new place to live. Expect things to be a little crazy, but you'll get through it. Um, yeah. Be careful with this, okay? I love you guys, Saggies, though. You know that. I mean, I hope you know that. All right, then March 13th is a Virgo full moon lunar eclipse in your 10th house. Yeah. See, okay. So you know what the fuck you're doing. You're looking for a new job. Um, be careful with issues with coworkers. Um, yeah. So this could be so everything that I was just talking about in your relationship could be happening at your job with coworkers or a boss, and it's stressing you the fuck out. You need an outlet or to maybe go to counseling and learn some tools on how to deal with stress in the workplace or how to solve problems. Even if you're just reading or studying these things, you'd be amazed at how helpful it can be. It might not show up for you as a skill right away, but the more you keep indulging in studying and wanting to learn, the better you get. Knowledge is key. But essentially, if you have a job and things haven't been going well, you're looking for a new job. Um, and if you don't have a job and you're looking for a job, that's probably something even better to focus on. And then again, like I said, March 29th, the Aries new moon solar eclipse in your fifth house, you're gonna make a decision about an ex, or you're gonna find somebody. And I'm telling you, baby is on the table for you guys. So be careful. You might even have a second baby with your second makeup sex. Hey, I'm sorry. That was so pretty. Be careful. Be careful. Um, this could also be like a major change in a child's life or starting a new creative project. Okay, March. Capricorn, sorry. How you doing, Cappies? So March 1st, Venus in Aries goes retrograde. March 14th, Mercury in Aries goes retrograde. And then on the 29th is the new solar eclipse in Aries. And so this is happening in your fourth house. And so you can be dealing with a lot of family members who have some kind of escape issues going on that you're talking with them about or supporting them through, um, or you're trying to escape from home and family issues or matters that need to be discussed. Um, this would be a really, 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 really good time if you can find it in yourself to get grounded to heal family issues. You could be buying your dream home or finding a new place to live. Be careful for water damage, or just, issues, repairs in general. You might be traveling. You and a sibling can be healing a relationship, or a sibling's graduating, or you're graduating, or a sibling's getting a car, or you're getting a car. Used cars would be best during the retrograde, but whatever you get is fine. Just know that you'll probably encounter some issues with the process because retrogrades. And then March 13th is the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse in your ninth house. Yeah, you're doing some massive healing right here. And you might be doing it through school. I know that might sound stupid, but something about education here is expanding your knowledge, your mind, and how you look at the world. It's literally changing your view. You might even be changing your culture or your cultural perspectives. If you have any legal issues, um, I'd say be careful. Maybe that's what you're studying, or this is a spiritual law, you know, especially with the Virgo full moon. This could totally be like when to do something. So you could be like really like looking at the moon and being like, it's a good day to do so and so because the moon is in so and so. Day by day, like tracking the moon. That would be really dope. Um, yeah, that's really all I'm getting from this. And then, like I said, on March 29th is the Aries new moon solar eclipse in your fourth house. And whatever this is, whether you're moving or whatever, it's your new beginning starts. You'll start to see, whatever changes you've been working on. Aquarius, March 1st, Venus in Aries goes retrograde. And then March 14th, Mercury in Aries goes retrograde. And then on March 29th is the new moon eclipse in Aries. And so you might be connecting with a relative and healing that relationship, or you're remarketing your business to get money and sales, to get more money. Be mindful that things might be slow, but it's just a retrograde. It's not a forever thing. Whether you start it during the retrograde or not, just know that things might not pick up until another month or so. Um, but you can take this time to like rebudget and really think about, how you want things to operate, either way. Or using the little bit of people that you might have trickling in will give you a sense of how things function. And if you need to make any like last minute changes, so try to think of them as like case by case studies for your new marketing plan in your new budget. You know what I mean? Um, and then March 13th is the Virgo full moon in the eighth house. And you could be ending something, paying off debt, paying off a mortgage, ending a business partnership, ending of spousal support. Um, Maybe you just went through a dark night of the soul and you're like seeing things clearly, or you're healed and kind of like, I got a new attitude. And you could just be trying it out now. Like, I've 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 grown up like in the last 6 months to a year or so. I've seen some things, I've experienced some things, and I've really changed. But how do I present that? Do I care to present that? And the key is to take things slow, day by day, just like with the remarketing. If you're getting like a few customers in a day, use that as a case by case study. Somebody asks you out on a date, get up and go, but use it as a case by case study to say, I'm going to go and be me and see how it feels to be the new me. And but you're also learning how to be okay with it, in public, right? Because a dark night of the soul is like, internal work, spending a lot of time alone, studying, healing, learning, researching, digging deep, go deeper into a problem, to bring it up to the surface, to lay it out in the light and solve problems, and yeah. So you might just be testing out your new armor. Uh, and then March 29th is the Aries new moon solar eclipse in your third house. And so you might be learning something, a new skill, or starting a new marketing plan, learning how to communicate or what to communicate when it comes to a creative project, and or you're starting a new project and um the communicate, yeah, it's a marketing plan. I'm pretty sure I said that already. Or you're starting a new way to communicate with siblings, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, or a car. Yeah. All right, Pisces, March 1st, Venus in Aries goes retrograde. March 14th, Mercury in Aries goes retrograde. And then March 29th is the Aries eclipse. And this is all happening in your second house. Um, mm, your budgeting, you might be like super hyper focused on changing your budget or getting a new job to that pays you more. So you could be going through some training that's going to lead to a job and more money. I think the thing for you is going to be learning that you have a lot to offer or accepting that you have a lot to offer. Your life experience are skills and knowledge that's worth sharing with the world. And you have to find that within yourself and grow in it and build on it. That's going to be really hard. I watch a lot of videos, you know. I feel like you should get a reading. Not from me. You can get one from me, but I'm not. I think you need a mentor or a coach, someone to bounce ideas off of, so they can reflect to you, first of all, that you are amazing. You have great ideas. You've accomplished a lot. You're a great worker or business owner. You're a great father or uncle or mother or auntie or brother or sister. I just feel like maybe perhaps you don't have enough proof of who you are from the environment that you're in or the people that you surround yourself with. And it's becoming detrimental to your insecurities. It's not allowing you to see who you are. So you might have to change your circle, change your environment, change the people that you frequent around often, or build stronger relationships with them, more vulnerable relationships. Or again, read, study, watch other successful people, hear their stories. You'll soon learn, like, oh shit, I've had similar instances and I would have never have thought of myself as being whatever. And I don't mean just listen to them once, reprogram your mind through what you're watching, listening to, studying on a regular basis. Hmm. This is pretty deep, guys. But nonetheless, I think a Pisces, no matter how this goes, is going to be really amazing. I think you guys are going to be some of the first people who are going to realize whatever new world order they're trying to implement globally, you're not for it. And it's probably because you're stuck in this mindset. It might end up being a blessing in disguise. I'm not trying to encourage this at all. But because of your fears and insecurities, you might detach during this time, whereas everybody else might be out in the world doing who, what, where, whatever. And because you're so detached, you're learning that detachment from this new world order is the answer. Like these smart cities that they're going to build, and all this selling of own nothing but have access to everything, because you're going to be like so like disconnected from the world in a sense. You might actually become the answer. And then that's when you learn, like, oh my God, you become how do you call it? The whistleblower to the new world order, where people are like in it to win it. And you're like, no, you got to get up, and you'll be selling like, this is what, then you become the spokesman for how to stay out the new world order. I know I keep saying that, but you have to really understand what I'm talking about to know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my God, someday you will. Anyways, I just went off on a tangent. Sorry, Pisces. I still hope that was helpful. I do think that you are going to get a better job. I think you're going to get better coworkers that are going to show up for you and show you and be a reflection of who you are. And this job that you get can be your final and last job, and you get to move up and you get raises with however you move through this company or organization. Now, for those of you who are becoming spiritual entrepreneurs, this is going to be fucking amazing. You're going to succeed beyond success. It's just what it is. March 13th is the Virgo full moon in your seventh house. Did I already say that? Why do I feel like I already said that? Oh no. In your seventh house, you're learning to believe in yourself so that you can attract the social life that you want, the environment that you want, the people who are going to be more aligned with who you are and where you're going, period. And then March 29th, like I said, is the Aries new moon solar eclipse in your second house. Your new journey begins with more money. I fucking like this for you. I really do. Y'all gonna have to come back and let me know how on point I was or wasn't. I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.